Coach Zvonar, you've had a great run here at LincolnWay since you guys started. If you could kind of, how did the transition work as the two schools split and you guys began one here? And as you began, what types of principles did you begin with your coaching career with? What did you know you wanted to stick with?
Well, yeah, it seems every year it's getting further and further away, and LincolnWay has since split schools again. So I guess we're the old split now. But when we had the opportunity and the fortune to come here in the fall of 2000 and start with a fresh soft program that eventually led to the varsity in 2001, we kind of came over from LincolnWay Central, where we had been extremely blessed to be with great football coaches to start with, Coach Galimi, and being state champs in '97. So when the group of guys, myself and Joel Palisard and Jack Eddy and Steve Tomzak and Steve Provost and some of us that have been fortunate to be in that program came here, we first and foremost didn't want to fix anything that wasn't broken. So when we left there, their base defense was a 4-4 and base offense was double wing, and that's kind of what we became, and just tried to take their success and kind of build upon what they had done. And our initial slogan was same excellence but new tradition. So we were fortunate to come into a situation where winning was already expected, and we didn't necessarily have to change an attitude around like a lot of people that are coming into a new situation have to. But in terms of coaching principles and philosophy, I think first and foremost, we really believed that we didn't want to be outworked by anybody. So we made it our goal to go around to other programs and find out what they were doing, and I think learn from everybody, but in the back of our minds always feel like we wanted to do just a little bit more. So it started with hopefully an intense work ethic that was picked up upon by the staff and the kids, which probably we were able to have some early success, and whenever you have success, that certainly helps to sell your program as well. But I think more importantly than that, and the reason why the hard work was able to come, is just our philosophy on our relationships. And I think it has to start with your relationships. And I was fortunate to hear a Dr. Dobson speech one time, and he talked about relationships with kids, and the equation or the formula that he kind of went by was that rules without a relationship will equal rebellion, but rules with a relationship will equal results. And it was from that little formula that we kind of figured out if we invest time and energy and care and love and discipline in our players, then there's really no limit for what they'll do for you. And that was certainly instilled with me by great coaches that I had in high school, and Coach Albaugh and Coach Venerable, and carried throughout college and in my years as an assistant coach. But I think at the pinnacle of any success that we have, hopefully, is that our coaches take the time to invest and build relationships in our players.
Who do you have any mentors in your coaching career? People you call when maybe you're having questions about what to do or how to deal with a kid? Who are some people that you look to?
Sure, and one of them I certainly already mentioned is wouldn't be sitting here today without the guidance and the leadership of Hud Venerable, I was fortunate to be play for him just 1 year, senior year in high school back in Monticello, Illinois, and Coach came to Monticello in the spring of 1988, and I'm sure glad he came for that 1 year, and went on to have outstanding teams at Monticello, and come up here and be the coach at Rich South for a year, and then Coach Venerable was state championship coach and coached 14 years at Normal Community, and now kind of as life is full of irony, is going to come up here and be the athletic director in our district at LincolnWay Central High School. So Coach Venerable is certainly a guy in terms of dealing with people that I think I've learned the most from. And then other mentors in terms of X's and O's, I mentioned previously, we wouldn't have known how to run a football program from an X and O and a work standpoint without learning under Coach Galimi. And then I also feel very fortunate just to be able to talk to guys on our own staff. Coach Joe Palisard is essentially a co-head coach with me here at LincolnWay East, and we've got some great veterans like John Piazza and Jack Eddy that we're all able to sit and go over. It's definitely, if we've done anything right, it's to surround ourselves with great people, and people that are much smarter than I am.
What are some motivation tools that you use with your athletes that you feel are effective?
Motivational. I think first and foremost, I think you set high expectations, and I think the success or failure in a coach ends up being, can you push a kid farther than he thinks he can go, and then that will build his confidence up. So, in terms of motivation, I think it certainly starts with what we touched upon earlier about investing in that kid and building a relationship with him first. And I really think that kids want to be disciplined today. And so we have a structured discipline system here where they are held accountable for their actions. And I think whether they admit it or not, kids want that. And talk about society today and how it's different from the past. And I'm not so sure kids have changed. I think maybe in some ways parents have changed, and I've seen this firsthand in my house. I think a lot of parents love their kids so much that they want to take all the disappointment and failures out of their life. But if we all were honest and reflected, I think some of that disappointment and failure in our lives lead us to become bigger and better and stronger people. And without that, we wouldn't accomplish as much as we could. So I think constant accountability and challenging. I don't know if any specific motivational ploys necessarily come to my mind. I think one thing that's important to note with kids is life's never going to be perfect, and we really talk to them about you're always going to have an issue. We joke around and kind of talk about, well, we're just living the dream here at LincolnWay East, but nobody's living the dream, and you're always going to have a parent issue or a girlfriend issue or a grade issue or a discipline issue. There's always going to be some baggage, so to speak, in your life, but it really is the people that can focus on the task at hand and overcome that adversity in their lives that and can continue to strive to get better that are going to be the most successful. And we kind of joke about when we talk about our opponents. We don't talk about our opponents too much, but we've had our first game rivalry with Providence Catholic the last 4 or 5 years, and in the summertime, if a kid gets injured a little bit or gets in trouble, we just may ask them, hey, do you think Providence Catholic cares that you turned your ankle? Do you think Lockport cares that your girlfriend broke up with you?
Now that you're a coach you've coached a state championship team, you guys have been one of the most dominant programs in the state of Illinois for a number of years now. So now what are your goals as a coach? How do you stay motivated? What do you want now?
Well, I think there's times where you self-reflect and you think about those things, but I think what really comes in is maybe not, why are you coaching? Are you coaching to see how many you can get in the W column and see how many you can avoid in the L column with wins and losses? Is that your motivation for coaching? And if it is, I think you'll hang on for a while, but eventually burnout may set in and things like that, because we do put an awful lot of time into it, like all the coaches do throughout the state. I know that, but I think you look at why you're coaching, and hopefully your love and care and concern for young people and your love for the game has to outweigh the tangible wins or losses. And I think for us personally here, we feel like there's still a lot left to do, and we're blessed to be in a tremendous supportive community and in a great school district. And we've talked about in the past where you hear about these 5-tool baseball players that can run and throw and hit for average and power and steal bases. Well, we feel like we've been blessed with the resources to be in a 5-tool football program with supportive parents, great, outstanding, hardworking kids, tremendous feeder programs and youth programs, a booster club, supportive school administration and faculty, if I hadn't mentioned that already. So we just feel like it kind of goes back to much is given, much is expected. And we feel like we've been given a lot, so we want to turn around and do our duty or our job and put as much as we can into these kids to hopefully teach them some life skills that will go way past the football field. So to answer your question, you do, I think as human nature, we all look around and wonder if the grass is greener somewhere else, but we've got plenty of challenges here, and they've split the schools up, so the demographics of the districts have changed a little bit, so that's just another challenge. And I think right now we're just excited to be here and do the best that we can.
All right, Coach, thanks for sitting down with me, and best of luck here in '09.
Thank you, sir.